So tell us a little bit about the satellite you're getting ready to launch. What makes LDCM different from its predecessors?
Well, the Landsat Data Continuity Mission launching today is the 8th satellite in an incredible series that's actually been taking images of the Earth for the last 40 years. The Landsat program is really critical to managing all of our land resources, things like food and water, our coastlines, our forests. You see here in this animation that Landsat is in a polar orbit, and it's able to image any particular area of the Earth about once every 16 days. So think about the power of that, of having a consistent image database back for the last 40 years of every little bit of land on this planet.
So can you show us some of Landsat's best images showing change over time?
There are so many lovely images to show. They're almost like art. In fact, here at NASA, people even have Landsat images in their offices displayed like art. You can see so many different sorts of changes. For example, things like urban change over time. This is the city of Las Vegas, and over the last few decades, it's gone from a relatively small desert community to a giant city. And of course, it's a desert community, so it has to draw a lot on water. You can see Lake Mead there, the levels change. Also natural changes, things like forest fires. This is Yellowstone Park, and in the late 80s, there was a huge outbreak of forest fires. Not only was Landsat able to image the fire damage, but also show the recovery over time and see how the forest restored itself.
So why is Landsat data so crucial for understanding the impacts of climate change?
One of the unique things about the Landsat program is that we have 40 years of data. That's the longest record from space of the planet. So in the case of climate change, you're always asking yourself, is the pattern we see this year just a variation of this year's weather, or is it part of a larger pattern? And 40 years of data allows us to do that. For example, things like glaciers. We see that about 90% of the Earth's glaciers are in retreat right now, and this is the Columbia Glacier in Alaska. You can see that little yellow line that shows you the edge of the glacier. Year to year, Landsat has been able to show us exactly what that glacier is doing. The fact that it's not only retreating, but it's getting faster and faster. So climate change is something that right now is very dramatic that we see at the poles, and the 40-year record allows us to say that it is a definite trend.
So how is Landsat data used to better manage our land and water resources?
Landsat has actually ushered in an era of precision agriculture. Field by field, we can tell not only how much water that land needs, but how much water is being used and how much water is being lost to evaporation. We now have farmers literally with GPS sensors in their tractors. Based on Landsat data, they know exactly how much water needs to go in. Here's a picture of a pivot irrigation, these little yellow dots that you see. And this actually is the Aral Sea in the Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan region. This sea is being drawn on for irrigation, and over time it's almost entirely depleted. So we can actually see the human impact of water resources easily with the Landsat data.
Well, where can we learn more about Landsat?
If you want to see some of these gorgeous images and learn more about the Landsat mission in general, you can go to our website. It's very simple, www.nasa.gov/Landsat. And it's worth noting that this data is actually free for anybody on the planet. Any individual, any government that needs this record of the Earth can go and download these images.